All right, welcome back, everybody. Round 4 is about to begin. I have to go make some camera adjustments. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce these gentlemen, get the match started, and then I'll get everything cleaned up as we go. So you're going to be on the button for a minute, getting things done. Outstanding. Let me come over here, and let's introduce the game because we're well into it already.
Yeah, they already got started.
Yep.
Well into the first turn.
Yep. We got Alex on the left. This is a Vader yellow, very traditional Vader yellow. In fact, I have not even reset everything. This is how bad I am at this.
And Alex getting a really interesting opening with Vader yellow by 2 units, the 2-1 TIE Fighter as well as the 1-3 yellow unit. So it looks like Vader's ability will definitely be getting off on turn 2.
Yep. There's your matchup real briefly, everybody. That's Piett blue on the right-hand side of your screen. I've got to make some things fixed in the overlays, but for now, I'm going to let you call the game while I go fix the camera. That's driving me nuts.
So the Piett player, by starting, he's obviously trying to limit what Vader can put out in terms of the amount of units. And by resupplying, he's going to go up a resource, and Alex is going to basically dominate the board by playing the P3, getting him to ping it, triggering the on-defeat trigger. This is really good for Vader to now have 2 units in play, 3 units in play, the 2 actual units in play as well as the token to make sure he keeps his engine going. Piett obviously trying to ramp to get those big capital ships in play and put Vader in a position where he just can't deal with them. And Piett coming into play now means that Kale can play a 7-cost capital ship for 5. So he has the resources for it. Right, so this is a Overwhelm Raid ship that is a 5-5, the MC3. So he has 2 resources open. Now obviously this is a threat in space that will start running through all those little tokens, and the Overwhelm is what really makes the value for this because it puts your opponent, they're not just taking out the units, but you're going to base, so it's getting your game plan done at the same time. Alex going super wide. Now we have Dr. Pershing coming in for 2. We get that extra card draw to try to get some of these extra capital ships in play in his hand. But to say he's going wide, Alex is going very wide. The unfortunate thing is that he is setting himself up for a giant overwhelming barrage coming up on the next turn if Kale has it. And that would be 7, which would completely wipe his board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 8. So almost wipe his board, leave him at 1 token in play if he has Overwhelming Barrage. There you go, just like I called it. Overwhelming Barrage,
I mean,
cleaning it up.
OB's such a great card, and in this
good
matchup, being able to come in and clean up Vader's little weenie hordes is a huge deal.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me that I always think about is when, so Piett has the, you know how Kira has baked in, she flips, things get damaged, you Overwhelming Barrage her, finish them off.
Yep.
Piett is interesting in this regard because by getting the ships out early, it makes your Overwhelming Barrage is bigger. So he also has baked in Overwhelming Barrage where by him coming out, I'm putting a big threat in play. You don't handle the big threat, and you handle Piett, I can Overwhelming Barrage and clear your entire board. If you handle the big threat, I put another big threat in play.
Yep. Yeah. And this MC30 is one of those cards that, intuitively you don't necessarily think about it with Piett because it's a rebel, and you're always like, oh, well, the big ships are all capital. Not in this case.
Yes.
Not for the cost of this card. Piett can bring this out as early as the 3rd turn of the game on the 4 resource round, and it's a really good card for 4 resources.
And specifically in this matchup, when Vader's making 1/1 tokens, it's overwhelming those tokens.
Yeah.
So you're dealing double duty. You're clearing the board, but you're also dealing damage to base, which makes the value of it really high.
Yep.
But seemingly one of the biggest MVPs of the day.
Yep. Now it's interesting because he ambushed in the Eager E, right?
Yep.
To get this, so it will end up killing the MC30 at the end of the round. But for the moment, because the Overwhelming Barrage was still active, it had 7 HP.
Yeah, so technically it should still be in play right now.
Well, it technically should still be in play, but it's exhausted.
Yes, exhausted.
Yep. He is going to use Vader. Yep, he's going to use Vader there to get his token out. And already, let's get the base health correct. What are you going to be? We're going to 11 on.
To 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Alex has 11, while Kale is at 6
there
damage.
There we go. Wow, look at that. 2 regular 30-point bases. What a weird day we're having.
Yeah, right? It's like we went back sets.
It's like we're back in set 1 all of a sudden.
And it works because only ECL was being played in set 1, right? So these colors you would not see.
You would never have seen them. That's true.
Security Complex
Yeah.
and I don't even know what the yellow one's called. The one that has disarm.
Jeddah City.
Jeddah City and one
The baked-in disarm.
Yeah.
That like no one. It got a little bit of testing, like just people trying it when the game first began, but then
Yes.
it never went anywhere.
Yeah, I think that all of the bases at 25 needed to be a little different. Like the yellow is not a 25 base, which has probably been a 28, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I constantly look for opportunities to use cards like disarm. Like I look at the new Barris Ophi coming in the next set. That's she's got that thing where she can play events cheaply and by using the force token and that sort of thing. And I've always thought, is that a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I obviously clearly have not gotten anywhere with it yet. So we got
another MC, another big ship, and I can tell you that Kale has a overwhelming barrage in his hand.
Well, he's got this CR90 coming out here.
And then Vader just has piloted a lurking tie. So,
Vader on the pilot on the lurking is going to be a problem.
So Vader being a 7/7, so it's going to be an interesting way to see how Kale wants to deal with it. But also, let's say hypothetically he just runs one of his big capital ships into it. What's the follow-up?
Yep.
Does Alex have a way to put a Sentinel in there? Does he have removal?
I don't know. Alex is on the button here, though, so he's 100% going to get to swing in with his big old Phantom Tide. It's
No, I think Kale has an issue.
Oh, they just didn't move the token?
Yes, they did not move the token. Kale claimed.
Okay, so I'll move it. I'll move it for them. There's the OB.
There's the OB, but
so the OB cannot hit the Phantom, but it can literally clear everything else.
Everything else, and then it makes it the unit that he puts it on big enough to kill.
Yes,
Phantom.
he can now. Yeah, I think he did it for the MC. He did it on the MC30. Yep. Nobody wants to hear that. 9 to base. That hurts like a train.
Yeah.
9 and 6 should put him at 15. There we go. Yep, there is one overwhelm there.
Now, the thing that I'm curious to see is what's the follow-up play for Vader here? So you got.
I'm with you. I'm curious about this because Piett still has, it's like legs, right? Like we haven't seen a Devastator yet. We know he's probably packing things like Annihilator and/or Executor as you get farther up the line. He's going to get Restore. He gets Restore out of the CR90 here.
Yes, and then if he kills it, he gets Restore. He gets another Restore effect.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I'm curious to see how does Vader fight out of this. This is also another turn where the card that was overwhelming
3
barrage.
for a Corvus.
That's good. That's good value right there.
He's got all this Restore in space now.
Yeah. Drawing more cards.
Believe initiative has swept back to Alex there, and there's 2 more to base from Piett.
Looks like the momentum, the corner is turned for Kale.
I think so.
Yeah, the momentum is shifted, and I don't see Alex
I'm
coming.
not sure Alex got a way back in because it's interesting to me, one of the drawbacks to the way this Vader deck tends to play, he doesn't have the ability to threaten even a unit as weak as Admiral Piett on the ground. Well, Piett's a 2/7.
You're right.
Like, he's not a threat to almost anything. But Alex, the way these Vader decks tend to get built, he can't even threaten Piett, much less Pershing.
And I'm also curious to see what the sideboard holds. I'm curious, do they play Maul in the board? So those 7 health leaders, they one-shot them?
That's a good question. I mean, I would strongly consider it if it was my version of this deck, but I'll be honest. I mean, these decks have had plenty of success without me. So, I mean,
to be honest, I played with Alex. I can't tell you how many games, and this is the one matchup that I just we haven't played. I haven't. I'm meaning against Vader. Yeah, the other.
We were just. I was
is
just
that the
talking.
Third
that's the third one.
That's so impressive.
I was just telling this story earlier in the stream, right? The Palpatine player who did this to me, and I was a little salty about it. So.
Alex with poker face.
Alex is just like, well, I can't
like,
survive 3 OBs, ladies and gentlemen, so why don't we scoop this up and move on to game 2?
Yeah, obviously the targets for OB are here so good. And then I was playing Out of Aspect Overwhelming Barrage in my Yoda deck, literally for Vader Yellows, just to be able to clear out, the ult when they go wide. It was just very worth it. So it being main deck for 5, and having 3 of them is pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, while these guys do some sideboarding, you guys should know the drill by now. If you've hung out on the stream, you'll get a quick ad roll, and then we'll be back to talk a little more. But in the moment, we'll see you guys shortly.
What's up, everyone? Raptor here with a simple thank you for watching Star Wars Unlimited content here on the channel. When I started dabbling in live streaming store showdowns at our local store last summer, I could not have foreseen where this would all go. Today is our 4th Planetary Qualifier we've covered live in-house at venues ranging from Mobile to Houston to Austin, not to mention packing everything up by plane and doing it live from the floor of sectors in Denver and the regionals in Minneapolis. It has been a hell of a ride, and I wouldn't still be doing it without you guys, right? Every person who reaches out with a simple thanks for what you do, a comment on Discord, a reply to a YouTube video, or stops by the table at a big event to express appreciation is really tremendous. Some of you have even joined the Patreon and opened up your wallets. You believe so much in helping keep this kind of coverage of Star Wars Unlimited competitive play out there and visible to the world, and I really, really appreciate it. Rest assured, we're going to be back in Season 1 to continue the fight, and if you're in Vegas for the Galactic Championships in a few weeks, come find me, say hello, let's have a drink and chat. Community is what games like this are all about. I really hope you'll join us later this year for more live coverage of Star Wars Unlimited competitive events right here on YouTube and Twitch.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I need to go adjust Kale's camera. He's tall. He fills up the entire frame. He is
like a tall. Like he seems like he's probably 6 feet.
Yeah, he reminds me of one of my co-casters in Houston, Trey, who's like just a ginormous human. He's like 6'8". He's huge.
He was very nice. He had good manners.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm
Very
sure.
nice guy. Kale's
I'm
a very
sure.
nice guy.
Yeah.
I just went over and briefly spoke with him and Alex. And I know Alex. He's a really nice person as well.
Shout out to Jackson in chat, who was playing last weekend in Houston. One of my awesome Patreon supporters down in Corpus. He and I were co-lamenting the lack of pretty much many players. Yeah, there's not many players that play this game down in Corpus. I noticed that when I was living down there for a spell back in 2018, 2019, I was playing Destiny at the time, and trying to find other people that play Destiny down there was like pulling teeth. It was just you just didn't find it.
So one of the things I find interesting about Texas is that you can have big communities, but Texas is huge, and they're so far apart that they might as well be in different states.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me, it's only two hours and change up here from my side of Houston, but for most of Houston, it's the best part of 3 hours up here, 3 hours to San Antonio, 4 hours and change to Dallas.
Yeah, it's 5 for me to Dallas.
It's 3 hours and change to Corpus. So, and even in Houston, I don't know about how you feel about San Antonio, but Houston is so spread out. We have little enclaves that are all an hour apart, even in Houston, right?
So one of the things that happened in San Antonio with us is that, like, we had, let's say, 7 to 8 shops running events, but they were cannibalizing each other.
Yes.
So eventually they worked it out where they were on different nights, and we were able to get good showings. All right, so to start off, very similar to last game for Alex.
Feels like we've seen this play before.
But vastly, so the funny thing is this opening is so different. Having Dr. Pershing versus the Inferno 4 without being able to start by bullying space, but also for Alex, instead of having the 1-3 as the second turn one play, he has the 2-1 with Raid. Yeah. So Alex is also off to a very much better start for him from game 2.
Well, he's going to be able to push with the TIE Fighter and then make the token and then swing in with the first order one that'll get him the raid he wants.
Absolutely. And Kale resupply.
It looks like we put a resupply on the right here.
Yep, trying to get up there faster, and then Alex is pushing the damage.
Yep. Token coming in on the left, and then there is your simple 3 more damage, and then there's the AT hauler.
See, now this is the part that's the threat, right? Like he has 3 units on the board, and he put an AT hauler. So whatever Kale is going to answer, it has to be something like Overwhelming Barrage that could get over this big hump of the 5 butt.
So the card that I would be looking for if I was Kale and I had this in the deck would be Interdictor. An Interdictor cruiser, right? Yes. Fleet Interdictor here would just stop some of the shenanigans in their tracks.
Sentinel. When it dies, kill something.
It's like a 7/7 Space Sentinel that kills something that's got less than 3 health when it goes. Like it's crazy.
I think it's cost.
Or is it cost? Is it cost? I forget exactly.
Specifically,
there
space,
it is. Yeah, there it is.
The Fleet Interdictor. Yeah. Alex giving that a quick read.
Such a great card.
Yes, it's a 6/6
6/6. There we go. But I knew it was
when
big.
Defeated me, defeat a space unit that costs 3 or less. Yeah, this is immense value for him.
He did get the first order tie swing in early, so he's able to use Vader here to make himself a token.
Yeah, this is the knowing that you want to get your squishy weak guy with the raid get in right away so you can guarantee that damage.
This is something that these Vader decks don't often find themselves up against either, is big space sentinels. And Piett can do that to you.
That's what he does.
So is that what do we that's the clone squadron.
Yeah, so it gets bigger per unit space unit.
That thing is huge right now.
So that thing can run over that fleet interdictor pretty handily.
It is an 8/8 at the moment, yes. And Kale going to claim wisely here, I believe.
And do you think we have an overwhelming barrage incoming?
I mean, if he's sitting on one, now's the time.
So claim now, overwhelming barrage, and that's
and murder that thing and let everything else smash into you, more or less.
The opposite. Kill all
the little guys.
Small.
Yeah, kill all these, and then everyone you kill, you shrink him down. Yep. That's a good point.
So he kills everything with overwhelming barrage. Put 1/1/1/1, and then put the last on that, and it finishes it off.
Yeah, pretty much.
So overwhelming barrage once again is absolutely brutal in this matchup, and because he has the big capital ships to go on the back of. So because Kale claimed early, Alex is now trading the stolen hauler. He's avoiding the overwhelming barrage play. He's trading the stolen hauler because Kale cannot take the stolen hauler and put it in play on his side, and then he's pushing through the damage.
Because he's already claimed, so his turn is over. Able to use the hauler to his advantage there. And still leave himself with a 5/5 clone squadron, which is not anything to sneeze at. Like, that's not a bad unit.
If, let's say, that clone squadron is not answered, just that alone, he could now attack, play another guy, it gets bigger, or play a guy first, it gets bigger, or play two guys and make it bigger. So there's a ton of options there for Alex.
One of the nastiest things that Kale could do here would be to salvage that thing, but he doesn't have it, apparently, if he's playing it at all.
Now, Corvus's ability, it has Restore, and then it has when played, move the pilot and remove the damage, right?
Yes. You may attach a friendly pilot unit or upgrade to this unit.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's really a body for a Overwhelming Barrage as well. Oh, look at that.
Well, now.
My, how the tables have turned.
How the turntables, ladies and gentlemen. So that would be a 7-point barrage off of the clone squadron here on the left-hand side of your screen. So he's going to clear Corvus. If I were, I'd 100% smack Pershing around.
Give him that. If he starts to keep drawing more, he's got to put damage elsewhere. The other thing that's good about Overwhelming Barrage, I think this is like one of the most underrated abilities about Overwhelming Barrage, is that you get to attack.
Yes.
So I Overwhelming Barrage, my guy's bigger, I killed your guy, and now I can swing with the buffed unit.
With the buffed unit.
And a lot of times, especially because you're trying to target a bigger unit with Overwhelming Barrage, it's relevant. It's damage that's going from 5, 7, 9, something of that effect. And then another MC ship.
Yep. The beauty of Piett just sitting on the board is that just like every capital unit you draw is just a banger. Like, it's like, well, they cost 5, but I'll just play it anyway. Alex going to take an ish here.
Alex claims initiative without going to base and all that.
Yep.
He's clearly afraid of Overwhelming Barrage.
I don't blame him.
And he probably has another one himself.
You think so?
Yes. And now
have you seen it in there? And I'm not looking. Oh, it's not there. I don't see it.
Oh, no.
No, he doesn't.
But the reason why I figured if he did, then overwhelming barraging next turn and killing the MC, but then deploying Vader onto that unit makes it not only huge, but then makes 2 more units, which makes it bigger. It adds up.
It feels bad that he played the OB and then didn't swing with it.
Yes.
Didn't swing with it. Missed out on 7 potential damage there.
Yeah. Now by him doing this, my math is correct, it insulates this from.
It should be a 10-10. No, now it's let's see, 7-7 to 12-12.
Yeah, so I believe this insulates it because even a 7 overwhelming barrage does 4 here, and then the 3 that goes back does not kill.
Okay, so he's gonna clean all the ties out with this one here, which knocks the squadron, and then put 3 on that guy. So I mean, that's still an 8/8 unit, but it does make it a little more.
And now it can get killed.
And now it can be killed.
Yeah.
He'll probably smash the MC30 into it and even get a little bit of 1 point of overwhelm out of it.
Yes. Right now, I know when Alex looked at his hand, I know when he draws cards, the cards that he drew, he's not looking for. He was looking for an event.
Yeah.
Something maybe like a waylay, overwhelming barrage. Just something to clear that space lane so he can push damage through and then go to the next turn and not have a giant ship in play.
Chat saying that they might have, somebody's saying I might have just gone ahead and attacked into the MC30 to get rid of it, which would have, it would have made the Vader play feel a little worse, but at least you'd still get some value out of it. Now, it looks like he's going to try to bring in this Eager E, but that won't kill this unit.
No, not only will not kill the unit, but it doesn't advance his board at all.
No.
So it still leaves it so then Kale will then attack with the MC and run over the Vader thing and do a trade.
And he could also just play it and not ambush it.
It's
He just
true.
leave it there. There we go.
That's not going to ambush.
Okay, yep. No, I think that's the better play, truth be told.
5, 8, 9, and 3
Okay, so he can still trade into the clone here.
Vader, yeah.
He will get a couple of points of overwhelm through because of the OB.
3 is 6, and I'm 8, 2.
Yeah, 2 overwhelm leaking through there.
I will say both Kale and Alex, there's a lot of math going on, and they've enunciated and have clearly explained
Isn't that
to
nice?
each other. So there's no question. They get the thumbs up and they keep moving.
I love that. I love when players take the time to make sure that the other person knows exactly what's going on. He's just going to play the shuttle with no game text here. He's not getting the coordinate benefit out of it. Draw a card by hitting Piett in the face. I have this mental image of Vader choking Piett to draw a card.
This is play I'm Your Father.
Yeah,
on Piett, just
Piett,
for no reason.
just for reasons.
So one of the other things now is it looks like Alex is going to be able to finally go to base if he wants at the start of the turn because he has initiative.
Yep. And Kale's been on the kind of back foot here, just lightly pushing damage through here.
The other thing that's like just you keep watching with Kale, it's like one after the other. He's drawing those little units that fill out his mana curve, or his resources. So for last turn, him playing something for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So playing something for 5 and then having 2 left over and then playing the Inferno 4 because the Inferno 4 is now going to kill something again.
Yep.
It's just he's maximizing his resources. He's playing a threat there. He's bottlenecking Vader. He's doing everything he needs to slow this deck down. And then here comes the coup de grace. I don't think that Vader
I'm
has
not sure how Vader
single
deals
answer.
with this thing. I just don't know how you deal with it in this deck.
Yeah, looking at Alex's hand, he's got Bazine. He's got the, I think, Mining Guild TIE Fighter.
Okay.
And the last card he has is the Sanctioner's Shuttle.
Yeah.
So no answers.
You know what I'm slowly realizing? I've played so much Kylo Tarkentown. That deck plays so many little dinky one-drop units and so on and so forth. I'm realizing that this Vader version is kind of like that. Like it's designed to just go crazy wide with all these little weak one-drop guys,
but in space.
and just sort of overwhelm you. It's just not on the ground in space, exactly. And then when you put things like Devastator in front of it, it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't have an answer for that.
I will say, like the with Kylo, it's the same thing where you're putting pressure ground, and then you're using Kylo at an opportunistic time to create a over pressure, so your opponent has to react to it. With the Vader and in flipping in space, not many cards are geared to react to that, and not many decks are attuned to react to that. So it creates a very lopsided turn. You go wide, and then Vader makes something really big. If it's a lurking tie, that's a problem for a lot of decks.
Pershing got bounced back to hand by the Geonosis fighter, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
And now here,
Okay. We're gonna start throwing bodies at the Devastator now.
6 to the Devastator.
As he smashed in for 10, and then 2 more from Piett. Nope, wrong person.
This is like one of those times where if you had another Devastator in hand, just reveal it. Game's over.
So next time you can let me know. I can mute us real quick.
Okay.
You can also just flip the mic up. Most of that will get missed.
Okay. Yeah, it was a
little bit of cough there.
Throat.
Yep, no worries. CR90.
Yeah, that's another space threat.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I kind of wanted to see this matchup. You don't find a lot of people playing Piett, and it's interesting because there's such widely diverse schools of thought on Piett in general. He's one of the few leaders that I think you could legitimately say can be played successfully in any color pairing. They all work differently, but they all work. Like I have a Piett green built at home. A lot of people don't think it's that great. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not that great. But I've played it. I've won some games with it. It's there's another one.
Like I said, this is one of those games where the amount of resources that Alex had to divert to going into a Devastator you know, if for me it's so oppressive at that point, I would have just flipped and be like, I have another Devastator, and if you want to play it out, we can. But like, I have everything I need to kind of close out this game.
Well, the other thing is that Kale's still playing that AT hauler. He can play that AT hauler out of Alex's discard pile anytime he's ready.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4.
He might forget because he's also on the verge of being lethal.
Yep.
So it looks like he's got.
I mean, we're at 29 on here.
So, you know, next turn it's going to be.
They're just fist bump and call it. Yep.
Yeah. This was extremely lopsided in terms of.
I'm a little surprised at quite how lopsided it was.
Kale the ramp got him into the position where he was able to put the Sentinels in place. Alex was able to build up a board at times, but the three overwhelming barrages game 1 was extremely oppressive. And then game 2, he just leisurely got into his Sentinels. He wasn't threatened.
Yeah, the fleet interdictor on the turn he had it was
vital.
Was a massive play.
Yeah.
Without that card, I think Kale's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's exactly like this matchup is exactly why that card is in the deck. In fact, Kale looks like he's pulling them back out. You guys can't see this, but it looks like it might have been a sideboard choice.
Yeah, that's absolutely. We can see that he's sideboarded out.
I'm guessing, but yeah,
multiple fleet interdictors. Well, if he's not, I don't know what he's doing. But
yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. That's a fair point.
And Alex brought in the Bazines. The eager escort fighters, no good to me deads, the staples to handle the big threats.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, listen, plenty of time left on the clock this round. Now, for you guys, that's bad because it means you've got about 25 minutes of more or less dead time. For us, that's amazing because lunch is sitting over here and we are hungry. So you're gonna have to give us we're gonna have to take a break and go eat. One of the things about we're just as bad as the players. We're caught up in the schedule. We don't get to stop. So this will be our opportunity to eat. In a sense, I'm not super upset that this went 2-0 and we get a small break.
I get you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah. So guys, we'll be away for a few minutes, but we'll come back with round 5 here before too much longer.